What is up everybody, Dusty here, back with The Sims 2. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, then you might be aware that despite being a pretty big fan of the series, I wasn't too fond of its console-exclusive spin-off, the Urbz. But while I might not have been that into the Urbz, I was a fan of its premise, and one of the best things about the main games is their large suite of customization options, which allows players to fine-tune their characters and neighborhoods exactly to their liking, so I decided to create my own take on Urbzville here in The Sims 2. After all, once you add up all the expansions, The Sims 2 can offer its own unique take on city life, but unlike the Urbz, you're free to hop around from household to household, allowing you to play out your stories from multiple points of view, or knowing Sims players just revel in the effects of your home wrecking firsthand.
You suck!
Chill out, dude.
Okay, that's suck!
And here's a little tip for any of my fellow lazy builders out there who'd like to do something similar. If you move a location into the houses and lot bin, it's added there permanently, which carries over across all your neighborhoods, so creating a throwaway town to raid its various districts for parts is pretty useful for quickly slapping together something that looks half decent at a glance.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain!
Which brings us to our protagonist, fresh off the bus, Dust. As his name implies, good old FTB is a new arrival here in Urbzville and is crashing on the couch of his good friend Cool Dude. FTB is the sensitive artsy type who enjoys doing crossword puzzles and making floral arrangements, while Cool Dude, as you've probably guessed, is a pretty cool dude.
Alright.
He's an aspiring musician and naturally outgoing, so while FTB usually avoids direct confrontation, Cool Dude has no problem telling you exactly what's on his mind at any given time. But despite their differences, the two are actually pretty ride or die, so if you've ever seen a turn of the Millennium comedy centered around an interracial friendship, then I'm pretty sure you know how this goes, as Cool Dude takes it upon himself to help his bookish buddy break out of his shell.
Cause this is what happens when bad meets evil.
Part of this included inviting FTB to accompany Cool Dude to the nightclub when he went to work as a DJ. While FTB usually had a good enough time, his efforts to find a romantic partner during these outings were constantly shut down, which did leave the poor man feeling a little dejected and disheartened.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And while designing decorative displays might have been his true passion, considering each of his daisy bouquets only resulted in a measly $4 of profit, he was quickly forced to get an actual job to help pitch in with the rent and utilities. Joining the workforce might have had the expected result of crushing both his hopes and dreams, but it also gave him some walking around money, which was absolutely essential because FTB currently had the fashion sense of a 55-year-old man who was on vacation with his grandkids, and that just wasn't gonna cut it here in the big city. So after being encouraged by Cool Dude to expand his wardrobe and flipping through a magazine he had lying around to get a sense of the latest trends, FTB decided to change up his look a little. And following a quick shopping montage, our boy finally had some decent outfits in his rotation and had built up a little confidence, which certainly wasn't hurt by the fact that Cool Dude spent the whole time relentlessly gassing him up, cause that's what you do for your boys. Now that his self-image had been given a healthy little boost, he then proceeded to work on improving his oratory talents, because mastering the gift of gab can allow you to punch far above your weight class, and with the power of persuasion on your side, you can talk your way into just about anything or anybody. And if you don't believe me, well, ask your mom about it. Anyway, Cool Dude didn't just give FTB some words of encouragement and call it a day. He knew that if FTB were to be rejected again at this point, that it could undo all of his recent progress, so Cool Dude decided that his buddy could use an easy layup, so to speak, and threw one of his famous parties, making sure to invite the notorious Ho Class. Now, Ho Class was infamous for a promiscuous personality, which led to a propensity for frequently cheating on her husband, No Class, although given that you're free to sleep around without fear of any STIs in The Sims, that does make her the ideal candidate for someone down their luck in need of a quick confidence boost. The plan went off without a hitch, as Ho Class was more than happy to be the center of FTB's attention, and the two actually got along so well at the party that they ended up having a follow-up date the next night, where the sparks continued to fly and it became obvious that Ho Class was all revved up and ready to go. However, unlike many of the men in Urbzville, FTB was unwilling to violate the sanctity of marriage, so a relatively innocent kiss is as far as things ever went between the two. Once again though, Cool Dude would live up to his reputation as the ultimate wingman, as he knew that FTB had a long-standing crush on Kate, the cute bartender who worked at their favorite karaoke place. However, FTB was still too self-conscious to think he had a shot with someone who might have some actual standards.
What?
So Cool Dude took it upon himself to set events into motion by convincing Kate to initiate the first move. FTB was downright giddy and nearly couldn't believe that his seemingly childish infatuation might actually have the potential to develop into something more. Over the next few days, FTB and Kate spent a lot of time together talking on the phone and hanging out, and it soon became apparent that there was something there between the two of them. Predictably though, trying to spit game from your best friend's couch, which is also currently serving as your bed, is a bit of an uphill battle, not to mention that repeatedly forcing someone into the role of a third wheel in their own home when they're the one covering the lion's share of the rent is kind of the textbook definition of being a giant dickhead. So since he'd recently attained the coveted position of a gas station attendant, FTB decided it was the perfect time to move out and get his own apartment. Now it wasn't exactly a penthouse suite, some of the neighbors were a little sketchy, and he also now found himself having to tend bar part-time just to make ends meet. But having a place that he could truly call his own made it all worthwhile, and while Cool Dude might have been essential in helping to get FTB's relationship with Kate off the ground, it soon became clear that his old roommate's constant presence had put a ceiling on things, as once he was on his own, his and Kate's affection soon blossomed into a full-on romance. And considering that when he first showed up in Urbzville, the poor guy couldn't even find a woman who'd give him the time of day, I think it's more than fair to say that fresh off the bus is currently living his best life. What's up everybody, Dusty here, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you didn't, then I have no idea why you'd still be hanging around at this point, but whatever, you do you. However, if you did enjoy it, then why not leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel so that you can be kept up to date with all my latest content. Or don't, don't let me tell you how to live your life. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, I'm out.